You know, I think I've always thought of music as very emotional. Even without really understanding the lyrics as like going all the way through and analyzing them or really understanding what the song's about, you can get a sense of the emotion of a song almost immediately.
There's no pain when there's no home.
Music is the best way I know how to communicate on a deep level. If I can sort of like feel something coming off of my chest with a song, then I really like it, and it's why I'm able to work hard on it.
Fire. And then a big drum fill. 2, 3, 4.
Music always comes with like nostalgia. Every like person and place kind of has its own like soundtrack in the background for me.
Even if I'm not conscious that I'm using music as like a sort of coping or like escape, I'll look back at my playlists from like 2 years ago or something, and I'll find a song that's totally on the nose for like what I was feeling then, and I didn't even really realize it in the moment. Gender and questioning is like the cosmic background of my life and has been for like upwards of 8 years now. It was a long time of denying that that part of myself was part of myself, but I started to talk to somebody about it and really like do a lot of self-work. I find it hard to not write from any other position than like my own experience. And a lot of the time I just finish a song, I'm like, who cares about this? Who gives a shit? Like, who cares? But then I find myself on the other end of that, caring so much about someone else's work and they're doing the same thing. If I can like create the space for other people in my music, then it's all worth it.
We graduated in 2020 after the pandemic hit, so we had like virtual graduation, no prom, which is actually a good thing, honestly. But
I know, I would not have survived.
And at that exact same time when we were graduating is when we started getting label interest.
Kind of felt like suddenly there was like a lot of momentum in my life going one direction with the band thing, but I had to stay home because of the pandemic.
We were supposed to just play a lot of shows that just never got played. It was just hard to remember that the reason everything was so polar in terms of the highs and lows was because of this crazy thing that was happening, and not because of our own, shortcomings necessarily or our own inactivity.
My diagnosis has been kind of like a long journey of pointing at one thing and then scratching that off the table and pointing at another thing and scratching that off the table. The hard thing I think I find to strike is balance, and I think when things in my life feel unbalanced, when I have a lot of time, my thoughts, like that unbalanced sort of state can really set me over the edge. It's something that like I struggle with a lot and I go through every day, and I'm here now because of the people in my life and also because of the treatment I've gone through, whether it be hospital visits or whether it be lots of group therapy or medication, all this sort of stuff. It's really working towards a long-term goal of recovery, And I'm still on that journey, but I've made some steps. On a basic level, therapy can definitely be kind of confusing. You think that you're going to a therapist for answers, when really a therapist in my life has been there to give me the tools to both understand what is going on in my head and also understand ways to sort of challenge some of the aspects. Because I think without therapy, I just would feel so like controlled by my mental illness, and you can kind of just give into it. And therapy can really give you the place to like start.
I've had like a reminder on my phone to go to a therapist for like a year and a half.
Self-therapy, things that I'd like to do are like, I'm in love with the park, straight up.
Yeah, that's
like,
great.
Anytime I'm out in the park, I tend to just, my mood gets way better. And while I'm on my bike, listening to music.
Meditation's usually how I sort of channel that. Meditation just
Meditation is great, yeah.
Yeah.
And rhythmic breathing and stuff like that, or breathing exercises.
Yeah.
Those are all really helpful.
The hokiness, like it's sort of.
I empty my thoughts and then I'm like better. Like, what do you mean?
No, absolutely, it's true. I had to get over that for my for it to actually start sort of having benefits on me. And even when the benefits started to come, I'm just like, well, these benefits are just coming because of like stuff I'm doing just in my own head. And I realized, wait, that's the f***ing point of the entire thing, is that it all happens invisibly.
The most important thing in mental health is really talking about it. It's really hard, you know, because those conversations are almost never fun. Forming a unit and a little family, you know, especially when it feels like a lot of things are moving around and there's a lot of changing scenery and a lot of new things and new people, it's something that you kind of honestly need.
Cool.
Well, the song we chose is Place to Be by Nick Drake. I've been listening to Nick Drake pretty much my whole life, especially there were a couple songs that my stepdad put on mixes for my mom before they were married. And when we would drive around a lot, we would play them, and so I heard those songs a lot when I was really young. Some part of that really just reminds me of like being very young and being kind of impressionistic.
His lyricism is incredible, and like the myth behind it, especially this last album, is really like compelling stuff, filled with imagery. It's really great. It really is like a testament to just how intense his feelings were at that point. When I was young, younger than before, I never saw the truth hanging from the door. Now I'm older, see it face to face. Now I'm older, gotta get up, clean the place. When I was green, greener than the hill, where flowers grow and the sun shone still. Now I'm darker than the deepest sea. Hand me down, give me a place to be. I was strong, strong in the sun. I thought I'd see when day was done, but now I'm weaker than the past.